Hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Real Talk in ELT. All right, so today, let's get into it because I'm going to talk about, got my notes, client-centered courses. I was very concerned about saying that with all the C's. Client-centered courses, designing goals based on professional identity. So, all right, let me give you a story. You ever tried to teach a student that came in and they had all of these, ideas and they say, well, I need to do this, I need to do that. Okay, got it, yeah. And then you're like, well, they're this level, so I'll just kind of go into this level. And then halfway into delivering lessons to them, you realize that they don't care about their level or even improving their level. They just want to stop sounding awkward and be better accepted by their peers when they're in their job. Yeah, same. That happened to me. So, years ago. And so here's why business English isn't about grammar or vocabulary or even how many phrasal verbs you can wedge into a meeting simulation. It's not about that. Most of the time, people are concerned. If they need proficiency, then they're going to tell you, like, I need to improve my level because I need to go up and I'm not able to do this, that, and the other thing. But a lot of people that are in business English courses, they really are focused on their professional identity, meaning you have to make a change to your course, your materials, the way that you deliver things. Otherwise, you're going to lose them. Here are my thoughts. So they're not really trying to improve their English. I've had so many of these people. They actually don't even care about their level of English. Their level of English is sufficient. They're functioning in their jobs. But they're trying to show up as competent, credible versions of themselves in English. I'm talking VPs, CEOs, executive level people, all the C-suites, directors, managers. They don't care about improving their English. They've got enough. They can talk about their job, they can understand people, they can travel around, they're fine. But what they really want is to feel more confident when they're, I don't know, selling off part of the company or proposing a new business investment to the group of directors. There's a difference in that. So here's what changed for me. I stopped asking them, what do you want to learn? They don't want to learn anything. They actually don't want to learn. They want to refine. I started asking them, what do you want to sound like? Who do you need to emulate at work? Are you the leader? Are you a problem solver? Do you need to be one of the more confident team members? Are you supposed to be an expert in your field? Let's build around that instead. And so that really shifted what I prepared for my lessons, what I was focusing on, the feedback that I gave them. It changes everything. So I would tend to work backwards. For these types of people, they have C1 level already. I mean, they're already, they're kind of breezing. I'm like, why do you need English? Like C1, you should be, I mean, ideally C2 would be good for executives, but that's like a solid C1. They can certainly get by. It's just how they feel. It's more therapy than anything. But here we go. So we work backwards from this identity. At least this is what I do. So do you want to sound like a leader? Okay, so this means that they have to be direct, but they have to be tactful, which I lack sometimes. My poor mother. No, I'm pretty okay. I'm okay with professional situations, but they have to have confident phrasing. Need to be strategic in the use of silence. Yes, really. Language classes, we actually have to teach them to be silent. I promise you, it does work. If they need to sound collaborative, and that means that they need to learn how to build on ideas, offer input without steamrolling others, use hedging that doesn't make you sound like you're unsure. So there's a lot of language built in there, and it's all kind of how it lands, not, and that's based on the context, not something that's prescribed in a book. They need to maybe sound assertive, but not aggressive. Sometimes they might need to sound aggressive, but sure. Assertive, so that's tone, word choice, intonation. All of these things are teachable, but all of these things are not in course books. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that. So here's the kicker about all of this: changing the focus and forcing my little teacher brain to be like, okay, I got to do something that's not so concrete, and I got to analyze things that I'm not really comfortable with. It was way more motivating for them. So students, they see the direct link between how they sound, how they're perceived, and then they engage more. Because if they sound more confident, great. That's exactly what they need to bring to real scenarios. They want feedback. I record them, I show it to them, see here, do you see how you kind of waver? Like you're hedging, you're using the right words, but your tone is off. It seems like weak when they need to be, forceful. So they need to see these things. They start co-creating sessions with you. They become more autonomous because they don't necessarily need language all the time. They need to know how to use it, how to deliver it. It's just different. So I've used this in Brazil, Mexico, I think a little bit in Spain, the Netherlands. I was over there for a little bit. Korea. Where else? Mostly Brazil, because that's where my home base is. So yeah, I've kind of around the world with it. I mean, at least in like Latin America. No, I did Latin America, Europe, and Asia. So I kind of, not all, obviously, but kind of a couple of different things. But it worked. At the end of the day, it worked. And so sometimes students don't need new. They need to know how to use what they already have in terms of language. So the next time that you want to sit down and say, well, I'm going to work with this person and they're really high level, so let me just kind of, fill in the gaps of all of their grammar tenses, and let me give them a bunch of phrasal verbs and idioms and all of those things that they tend to try to squeeze into upper level courses. Here's what I'm going to say to you. Stop. Take a breath. Skip the standard needs analysis questions and templates that you might have, and ask them, where do you need to be in English? Where do you need to be? Cool. So now they've envisioned the location. Who do you need to be in that scenario? How are you showing up there? What's your persona? And their persona usually is related to their job functions. And then you can kind of ask about who are the players in the room, what's going on, how do you need to be able to express yourself. And because we should know language as teachers, we should be good at analyzing language and kind of saying, what would be best in this scenario? That's where you can help them. Sometimes students don't have the capability of describing what they need. So I ask them to find examples. Show me, like, I think it's Missouri, the show me state. Is it? I don't know. Anyways, show me what you need to be like. Find someone that you want to emulate, and then I can look at them and figure out what you want to be. So yeah, it's a little bit different when we're doing client-centered courses that are based on their professional identity, as opposed to this is going to be a proficiency-based course. But it's just all the fun little variations that you get to step into and work on when you niche down into business English, for example. So enjoy, have fun, and I'll see you next time.